So then we're going to move right into the question of the week instead.
All right.
So question of the week this week, I often give you these questions and I'm like, you're not going to be able to answer this. This week you will be able to answer. And I bet this is a question that quite a few readers have had before. So hopefully if you've ever had this one, you're going to get it answered today once I am able to get it on the screen so I can see it. There we go. So Noah in our Frequent Miler Insiders asked the following question. Says, 1 year into my career, and I finally have a good credit score and not carrying a balance. So still fairly new to having a lot of credit card options. I recently got the Sapphire Preferred for the sign-up bonus, which I plan on hitting in the next 2 months, but I was approved for a credit line much higher than I expected. Does the amount of available credit you have affect your ability to open new cards? I'm looking to get a more premium card this summer, maybe the Platinum card, Delta, Platinum, or Reserve. And I'm wondering if I should ask for a decrease in credit line as my total available credit doubled to about a third of my income. So I need to ask for a decrease if I want to be approved for a higher annual fee card.
Yeah. So, I mean, the short answer is no, don't do that. The nice thing about that big credit line is one of the factors in your credit score, that's a pretty big factor, is your utilization ratio. You want to have the amount of credit that you're using each month compared to the amount that you have available to you. You want to be a small percentage. And so by having a big credit line, even if you end the month with like owing, I'm going to say like $2,000 on your credit card and you've got a $30,000 line, that's a very small percentage. And so that actually looks good on your credit report and will help you with your credit score and therefore signing up for other cards. With Chase itself, you might get to a point where it will hurt you sort of, which is that you might apply for a Chase card and they might say, we've already extended all the credit we're willing to extend to you. And so you're denied, but that's okay, because all that takes then is a phone call to the reconsideration line where you say, look, I'm not really looking for more credit. You're welcome to move credit from my Chase Sapphire to this new card. I just really want this new card. And not only will they often do that, but more and more, they've actually been doing that proactively. So that might not even come up. You might apply for a card. They'll see that they can't extend you more credit. So they'll actually just take, let's say, $5,000 credit line off of your Sapphire and put it on your Freedom, whatever it is you applied for, as long as it's a personal card. If it's a business card, they can't move it around like that. But for personal cards, they can shuffle your credit around. So you're good. I'd be happy with that high credit line.
Yeah, and there's a theory that higher limits beget higher limits, at least to a certain extent. So it's likely that cards you get approved for from other issuers will probably be at least competitive with that, rather than being small credit lines in general. Now there's some issuers that are stingier and whatnot, and a lot of different factors, but likely if you applied for an Amex credit card, they're going to give you a credit line that is probably somewhat competitive. And that is counterintuitive. I mean, only in America, so to speak. Like, it's counterintuitive that you can get as much credit as you can here, because people who've been playing the game for a long time, it's not uncommon for people to have multiples of their annual income in terms of available credit, to have
Right.
well more than their annual income and available credit. And that seems crazy. And it seems like, oh no, I mean, that's not the way it should work, right? It just is the way that it often works.
Right.
So you might think, oh no, I'm not going to get approved for another card because these other issuers are going to look at it and see that a third of, I already have credit that's like a third of my income. I can't possibly have more credit. Yeah, you can have more credit.
You can.
And they will give it to you. Welcome to the United States.
Right. Well, I mean, competitively, I think they're like, hey, I want this guy to spend all
exactly
on my credit cards instead of on Chase's credit cards. So, they have a competitive interest in doing that.
They sure do. So yeah, enjoy that. Be happy that you got a nice, good starting limit, because that gives you a lot of juice to be able to move it around later on. I mean, if you got approved with a monster credit line from the get-go, like Craig said, you may be able to get other cards down the road that perhaps you wouldn't have gotten if you only had a tiny little credit line and you couldn't move much around. So it's actually terrific news. So congratulations to you, Noah. And if you're in that same boat, certainly don't be upset or afraid of that. And you might see some sort of pros, so to speak, the people who've been playing the game a long time talk about decreasing their Chase credit lines in the hopes of getting automatically approved for a card in the future. But that's something that I generally don't recommend. And the people who are considering doing that are generally people who have lots and lots of cards already, and they're just looking to free up some limit, hoping for an automatic approval rather than having to call the recon line. If you're just starting out in this game, I would totally want to be in your shoes, Noah. So
For sure.
you got it. All right. That, my friends, brings us to the end for today. So thank you very much for being out there with us. If you'd like to hear more about what we've been talking about, you want to get our posts in your email inbox, you need to go to frequentmiler.com/subscribe. Again, that's frequentmiler.com/subscribe. Join our email list, get in our Facebook group, the Frequent Miler Insiders on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and social media and all that stuff. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, ding the notification bell. And if you're watching this or listening to this in podcast form, leave us a review, leave us a thumbs up or a few stars or whatever it might be. We appreciate all that. Thank you very much. We will see you guys again next week.
Yeah. And of course, let us know when your yacht is ready for touring the Maldives. We'll pack our bags.
I'll be refreshing my email all weekend long looking for you, kind sir or madam. Thank you very much. See you guys next time.
Bye, everybody.